A number of Dungeons & Dragons players will say that D&D's mechanics don't dictate what kinds of stories the system can tell, and that is simply not true, because things like magic systems or just genre assumptions can affect what direction a story will go. For example, take Game of Thrones. In this series, magic is something strange and unknowable. Like, yes, Melisandre is a light domain cleric, but she barely understands her own powers. Dungeons & Dragons, meanwhile, cannot make magic feel this mysterious because D&D has a very hard magic system. In D&D, when you cast a spell, you know exactly what it's going to do. Well, assuming you're not a wild magic sorcerer, that is. Or take Jaime Lannister, his arc about learning to cope with the loss of his hand, and thus not making him the sword fighter he used to be, wouldn't work in Dungeons & Dragons. Because in a game of D&D, permanent injuries do not exist. In the standard D&D rules, no matter what injuries you get, you go to bed, and when you wake up the next morning, you're perfectly fine. But even if you're using the optional rules in the DMG for lingering injuries, the story is still not about coming to terms with the fact that you're no longer the warrior you used to be, like Jaime. No, it's a side quest about trying to find a cleric or druid powerful enough to cast the Regenerate spell, because every single injury in the lingering injury table has something that can magically cure it. And moving on to a non-Game of Thrones example, Spice and Wolf is similarly not a D&D campaign. Lawrence is a merchant, plot points in this show revolve around things like manipulating supply and demand or currency exchange, and Dungeons & Dragons trading rules are way too simple for any of those things to work.